Hello everyone, I'm going to make two videos regarding this topic on how to print a rhombus in Dr. Java dynamically. So the user will give us an input and then we have to show the output as follows. We can divide the output as an upward facing triangle and a downward facing triangle. The upward facing triangle will contain three lines, that is the sample, that is equal to the sample input, and the downward facing triangle will contain only two lines, that is sample input minus 1. If the sample input is 5, we will be printing 5 lines of the upward facing triangle and 4 lines of the downward facing triangle. So this can be done in many different ways, but the simplest solution is using 3 for loops. My first for loop will iterate through the line counts. So this is line number 1, line 2, line 3, line 4 and line 5. In this line count in this for loop, we will be printing the number of spaces before the stars and the number of stars that each line contains. So if you consider the number of spaces in the first line, it's num minus line count. Here my num is the sample input, so 5 minus 1 4, that means here it contains 4 spaces, and in the second line it's 5 minus 2, so we have 3 spaces here, we have 2 spaces here, we have 1 spaces here, and we have 0 spaces here. So this is how we will actually be printing the space count, that is it will start from 1 and go all the way to num minus line count. And last but not the least, we'll go for the star count, and star count is the number of stars that we're printing. So if we consider an equation here, that is 2 into line count minus 1, will it give us the exact amount of stars that we'll be printing? Let's iterate. 2 for the first line, the line count is 1, so 2 into 1 minus 1, that is equal to 1, so it's giving us 1 star. For the second line, our line count is 2, so 2 into 2 minus 1 equal to 3, so it's giving us 3 stars. For the third line, it's 2 into 3 minus 1, which is equal to 5, so it's giving us 5 stars. And for the next line it's giving us 7, and for the next line it's giving us 9 stars. So if we start the start count from 1 and go up all the way up to 2 into line count minus 1, then we can get the number of stars and we can print those stars, those number of stars. And for the downward facing triangle, we are planning to keep these two conditions same. So what we can change is only the line count. So we'll start the line count from num and go all the way down to 1. Basically this line count will be decremented after the for loop is iterated, every time the for loop is iterated. So for the first output, let's iterate this line. So line number will start from num minus 1, sorry I haven't mentioned minus 1 here, so num minus 1, so 5 minus 1, it's 4. Our value of line count is 4 here, our value of line count is 4 here. Then the space count, so space count will go from 1 to num minus line count, so num is 5 and line count is 4 here, so 5 minus 4 equals to 1, so we'll be printing one space here. Yeah, this is right, we'll be printing one spaces here. And then for the number of stars, 2 into line count minus 1, our line count is 4, so 2 into 4 minus 1, 2 into 4 minus 1 equals to 7, so we'll be printing 7 stars from the downward facing triangle. Now after this for loop is iterated, the value of line count will be decremented, which is 3 now. So 2, our space count will be num minus line count, so the value of num is 5, 5 minus 3, it's 2, so 2 spaces will be printed now, sorry, two spaces will be printed now. Now the star count equals to 2 into line count minus 1. So we'll be printing 5 stars there. So 2 into 3, which is 6, minus 1 equals to 5. So we are printing 5 stars here. So this is how we'll be actually doing this task in our next video. Thank you.